The scientific method, logic in social science. All scientists use common methods for their inquiry. All sciences, whether natural or social, agree upon methods of studying phenomena. But their materials differ. A biologist studying the structure of some flowers, a chemist studying radioactive properties of an element, and a sociologist studying crime situation in an urban slum. All follow similar scientific methods of inquiry, but their subjects of study are different. Therefore, they use different techniques of investigation for their study. As their materials are different, their purposes also differ. All of them will observe the phenomenon and analyze them to find out their consequences. This is called scientific method. Thus, scientific method is a systematic step-by-step procedure, 3 steps: observation, hypothesis, and verification, following logical process of reasoning. According to Professor Morgan, scientific method, being highly elastic, can be applicable to all domain of human activity where the discovery of truth is the objective. As Carl Person observed, there is no shortcut to truth, no way to gain a knowledge of the universe except through the gateway of scientific method. Elements of scientific method. Procedural components. Observation, hypothesis, and verification are the 3 procedural components. Observation helps to collect data and help to build hypothesis. The second step is formation of one or more hypotheses. A hypothesis is tentative conclusion. It guides collection of data. The third stage is verification of hypothesis. It is done by analytical tools. Personal components. The researcher needs imagination, analytical ability, resourcefulness, skill, capacity to find out the hearts of the problem. Researcher's ability and attitude are more important than the method of approach. Ambitions, interest, and perseverance are very much required to go on successfully with research. Researcher should have an objective scientific and professional qualification and personal quality and interest. Meaning and essentials of scientific method. Scientific method is a way in which one can test opinion, impressions, or guess by examining available evidences for and against them. Essentials of scientific methods are: scientific method aims at discovering facts. It is itself corrective in nature. It is itself based on systematic doubts. Scientific theories are abstract in nature. Basis of scientific method. Reliance on empirical evidence. Scientific method involves a systematic process. The answer to a question is not decided by intuition or imagination. Relevant data are collected through observation and experimentation. The validity and the reliability of data are checked carefully, and the data are analyzed thoroughly using appropriate methods of analysis. Use of concepts. We use concepts to deal with real facts. Concepts are logical constructs or abstractions created from sense impressions. They are the symbols representing the meaning that we hold. Commitment to objectivity. Objectivity is the hallmark of the scientific method. It means forming a judgment upon facts unbiased by personal impressions. The conclusion should not vary from person to person. Ethical neutrality. It does not say they are good or bad. Science aims nothing but making true and adequate statements about its object. Generalization. Scientist tries to find out the commonality of a series of events. They aim at discovering the uniformity. Assumed a discovered uniformity, a logical class and its observed pattern, a descriptive generalization is formulated. Verifiability. Scientist must make known to others how he arrived at his conclusion. He should thus expose his own methods and conclusions to critical scrutiny. When others test his conclusion under the same conditions, then it is accepted as correct. Logical reasoning process. This reasoning process is used for drawing inference from the finding of a study or for arriving at conclusion. This logical reasoning process consists of induction and deduction. Methods of logical reasoning process. Induction. The inductive method consists of studying several individual cases, drawing a generalization. It involves two processes, observation and generalization. Conclusion from induction method is subjected to further confirmation based on more evidence. Deduction. Deduction is reasoning from the general to the particular. This reasoning establishes a logical relationship between a major premise, a minor premise, and a conclusion. A major premise is a previously established generalization or assumption. A minor premise is a particular case related to the major premise. The logical relationship of these premises lead to conclusion. For example, major premise, all men are mortal. Minor premise, A is a man. Conclusion, A is mortal. The logical process of both induction and deduction are useful in research studies. Difficulties in the use of scientific methods in social science research. Some theorists argue that scientific method is more applicable to physical or natural sciences, and it cannot applicable to social sciences. The following are the major difficulties. Human behavior is different. It's very difficult to categorize. When human behavior is studied and analyzed by another human, there may be personal problems. Psychological nature of human behavior cannot be measurable. Human behavior is not uniform and predictable. Uncertainty is existing. Difference in choice and decision. Research and theory as a science. Meaning of theory. Research is closely related to theory. Theory provides a conceptual model for research. Research in turn contributes to theory. It is important to distinguish the modern scientific usage of the word theory from other meanings the word may have. In common parlance, theory is frequently identified with speculations. What is theoretical is unrealistic, visionary. This is a wrong notion. Theory is the accumulated stored facts. It may define as a set of systematically interrelated concepts, definitions, and propositions that are advanced to explain and predict phenomena, facts. Arnold Rose defines theory as an integrated body of definitions, assumptions, and general propositions covering a given subject matter from which a comprehensive and consistent set of specific and testable principles can be deducted logically. Criteria of theory. Theories start out as ideas. How much these ideas conform to the basic demands of proposition formulation that determines whether or not they will assume the status of theory. The criteria to be met by the set of ideas are: they must be logically consistent, they must be interrelated, the propositions should be mutually exclusive, they must be capable of being tested through research. Theory and facts. Theory and facts are interrelated. Facts are empirically verifiable observation, and theories establish relationship between facts and order them in meaningful way. Theory summarizes facts into empirical generalizations, and it predicts facts. Facts in turn help to initiate theories. Facts lead to the reformulation of an existing theory and modify them. Role of theory in research. Theory helps research in several useful ways. Following are the major contributions of theory to research. Theory delimits the study. It helps to select a few relevant aspects of phenomenon. Any phenomenon may be studied from different angles. Theory helps the researcher to work within framework is science. Theory provides conceptual model. It helps a researcher to develop conceptual structure for the proper formulation of the selected problems. Theory summarizes. Theory summarizes what is already known about the object of study. From time to time in any science, there will be changes in the structure of relationship between propositions. Theory states universal law. Theory states a general uniformity beyond the immediate observation. Example, a person sitting under mango tree observes mangoes falling on ground. But beyond this observation, there is a general law of gravitation. Prediction. Theory helps to predict further facts. For example, we may observe low birth rate in modern societies. From this, we can predict that if modern way of life is introduced into a traditional rural or tribal community, its birth rate would decline. Theory fills gap in knowledge. Theory also points to areas which have not been explored. The gaps in knowledge are brought to light through the questions arising out of theory. Contribution of research to theory. Research contributes to the development of theory. Research initiates theory. Scientific experiments have led to the development of various theories in physics, chemistry, etc. Similarly, research in social sciences has contributed to the development of several theories. Research tests an existing theory. One major function of empirical research is to test hypotheses deduced from existing theories. If hypothesis is not confirmed by research, the theory from which the hypothesis is deduced is re-examined and tested. Reformulation of an existing theory. When a theory does not fit into new findings of research, it is rejected and reformulated to encompass the new findings. Research refocuses theory. Empirical research may give a new focus to the existing theory. Research clarifies theory. Concepts are drawn from theory, but researcher cannot proceed on the basis of their theoretical meaning. For research purpose, the concepts must be operationalized and defined, especially with concrete empirical indications. Social science research. Meaning and scope. Sciences are broadly divided into natural, physical sciences and social sciences. Social sciences include various disciplines dealing with human life, human behavior, and institutions. Social sciences are not exact science like physical sciences. It deals with human beings. Human nature and man's environment are so complex that it is more difficult to comprehend and predict human behavior than the physical phenomena. It is difficult to see the underlying uniformities in the diversity of complex human behavior. Social science research is a systematic method of exploring, analyzing, and conceptualizing human life in order to extend, correct, or verify knowledge of human behavior and social life. Social research seeks to find explanations to unexplained phenomena, to clarify the doubtful and correct the misconceived fact of social life. It involves the application of scientific method for understanding and analyzing of social life in order to correct and verify the existing knowledge as a system. The main idea behind social research is to discover new interrelations, new knowledge, new facts, and also to verify old ones. Human behavior may be involved by certain values and laws. The main purpose of social research is to discover those laws which can be proper guidelines for studying human contact and behavior. According to P.V. Young, we may define social research as the systematic method of discovering new facts and verifying old facts. Their sequences, interrelationship, causal explanations, and the natural laws govern them. From this definition, we can identify characteristics of social research. Social research deals with social phenomena. It studies human behavior and their feelings. Social research is carried on both for discovering new facts and verification of the old ones. Social research tries to establish causal connection between various human activities. Nature of social science research. In contrast to the physical science, the social science lack the power of exact prediction. This is attributed to the erratic, idiosyncratic, and irregular nature of human behavior. Social scientists point out that the low predictable potential in social science is due to our limited knowledge of relevant variables operative in the group like customs, traditions, etc. The cause and effect are difficult to be segregated clearly. The present state of development of social science is far behind physical science. Merton advises to social scientists against their despair it is possible to develop broader applicability. Objectives of social research. The aim of social research is to discover new facts and verifying or testing old facts. It tries to understand the human behavior and its interaction with the environment. It tries to find out the causal connection between human activities and natural laws governing them. Functions of social science research. Discovery of facts and their interpretation. Social research provides answer to questions of what, when, how, and why of man, social life, and institutions. Discovery of facts and their interrelationship help us to discard distortions and contribute to our understanding of social reality. Diagnosis of problems and their analysis. Our society has innumerable problems such as poverty, unemployment, economic inequality, social tension, etc. The nature and dimensions of such problems have to be diagnosed and analyzed. An analysis of problems leads to an identification of appropriate remedial actions. Systematization of knowledge. The facts discovered through research are systematized and the body of knowledge is developed. Control over social phenomena. Research in social science provides first-hand information about the nature of social institutions. Prediction. Social research aims at finding an order among social facts and their causal relations. This affords a sound basis for prediction in several cases. Development planning. Systematic research can give us the required data base for planning and designing developmental schemes and programs. Social welfare. Social research can identify the causes of social evils and problems. It can thus help in taking appropriate remedial action. It also provides guideline for social welfare. Scope of social science research. The fields of social science research are unlimited and the materials of research are endless. Every group of social phenomena, every phase of human life, and every stages of past and present development are materials for the social scientist. The area of research in various social sciences provides vast scope for research in social sciences. The main scopes of social research are: social research provides new insight into the organized society and its social structure. Social research also provides new horizon in scientific explanation, advanced and tested principles of procedure, and suggested new concepts. Another scope of social research is that exemplified by studies and attempt to test or challenge existing theories and revise them in the light of new evidence. Social research helpful to establish new theory and established techniques of exploration. Social research also provides contributions to existing stone of fruitful ideas, methodology, and basis understanding of social life and control of its problems. Ethical issues in social sciences. An ethic is more than presence of a basic value or value. It is base of action in any science. The conflict between the ethics of science and personal respects of researcher is the major problem in social science research. Issues of ethics arise primarily out of researchers' relation with different sections of society. When we talk about ethics in social research, we are addressing those issues that concern the behavior of a social researcher and the consequences that their research bring to the people they study. As such, ethical issues have the potential to impart at every stage of the research process and within any research project. Therefore, all social researchers need to have a clear understanding of the ways in which ethical dilemmas can arise when carrying out their research. The question of objectivity has been central to the methodological debates of the social sciences from the beginning. It means the willingness and ability to examine evidence dispassionately. It is the first condition of research. Objectivity means basing conclusion on facts without any bias and value judgment. The conclusion should be independent of one's personal beliefs, likes, dislikes, and hopes. Both the data and the inference drawn from their analysis must be free from bias and prejudice. But modern feminists, researchers, and critical social researchers argued research is a moral political activity that requires the researcher to commit to a value position. Value freedom is a myth.